$5, $4.99 for diesel here in northern Florida at a 1-9, which is owned by Pilot J truck stop. Yeah, northern Florida off Route 75. Economy's going down the shitter, man. Trump sucks. Ain't doing crap. As long as this Iran war goes on, those fuel prices are not going to go down. Iran is not the problem. Israel's the problem. The Zionist stranglehold over America. Larry Fink, CEO of BlackRock, sitting next to Governor Abbott, the governor of Texas, who's also another Zionist scumbag. All right, here he's talking about using your money to fund AI data centers. He's also full of crap when he says he wants to see America become the top leader in technology. No, their plan is for Israel to be the top leader in technology, man. All big tech is dominated by Israel and Jew Zionists. All right, let's see what this scumbag Larry Fink has to say here.
Get more and more Americans to think about growing with the United States. We will have far than enough money to invest in this infrastructure. But as the governor was talking about, the need for electrons is growing every day. Some of these, if we're going to be the leader in technology, which we are, if we are going to be the leader in AI, which we presently are, it's just going to require trillions of dollars of investments. And if we don't invest in it, China will be the global leader of this. And so to me, it's not whether, this is a must. And if you think about how that translates, it translates into a more dynamic economy. We need the United States economy to grow at over 2%. We need the U.S. economy to grow at 3%, especially with the growing deficits the federal government has. And so much of this money, not just the projects, is going to be coming from the private sector, from savings accounts, from pension accounts, from insurance companies, and on and on and on. The whole world is in need of improving the infrastructure.
There's your domestic enemy. He needs to be taken out. You ain't voting him out. 40 trillion in debt.
We're going to have citizens will be on their best behavior because we're constantly recording and reporting everything that's going on. And it's unimpeachable. The cars have cameras on them. I think we have a squad car here someplace. But those kind of applications using AI, if we can use AI, and we're using AI to monitor the video. So if that altercation that occurred in Memphis, the chief of police would be immediately notified. It's not people that are looking at those cameras, it's AI that's looking at the cameras. No, you can't do this. It would be like a shooting. That's going to be immediately, that's going to be an event that's immediately, an alarm is going to go off, it's going to be, and we're going to have supervision. In other words, every police officer is going to be supervised at all times. Citizens will be on their best behavior because we're constantly recording and reporting everything that's going on.
When Congress, at the behest of President Donald Trump, cuts $1 trillion from Medicaid funding and then proceeds to spend like crazy on wars for Israel, let's be clear about that, on military weaponry and military funding for Israel, for a ballroom and an underground bunker. I mean, this is obviously spending that is unnecessary. And how do you justify that spending given the fact that, in the name of cutting waste, fraud, and abuse, the federal government cut $1 trillion from Medicaid, thus robbing disadvantaged Americans from the only health care they had available to them. I mean, that is an injustice of epic proportions, if you ask me. When you talk about the rural hospitals that are harmed as a result of that policy, I mean, it's just unacceptable. It's infuriating.
Building a system that will change how we live forever. You might have noticed something strange happening around the world. It feels like the world is incredibly chaotic right now. We see wars breaking out, crypto markets are collapsing, scandals are being exposed. It feels like everything is happening all at once. But I have to wonder if all of this noise is actually a distraction from something much bigger. While we are looking away, governments are quietly building a system that will change how we live forever. That system is the enforcement of digital ID. At first it sounds harmless. A modern ID system that lives on your phone. No more wallets, no more documents. One card that proves everything about you. Simple, clean, convenient. The United Kingdom is already calling their version the Brick Card. It is basically a digital identity for every citizen. Your car, your bank accounts, your medical history, your investments, even your property documents, all linked to one ID, all stored on a blockchain so nothing can be changed or erased. On the surface, this sounds fantastic. You will never have to carry a wallet again. You will never lose your ID because it is all stored safely on the blockchain. It is ultra convenient and secure. However, this convenience is exactly how they will get you to sign up. Once you are in the system, the government introduces programmable money. This is not like the digital banking you use today. This is money that has rules built into it. Imagine a world where the government can program your money to work only in certain areas. If you say something online that offends the wrong person, they could restrict your spending. They could stop you from buying travel tickets or limit how far your electric car can drive. It sounds scary, but they will make it very hard to resist. They will likely introduce universal basic income between 2027 and 2030. They will offer everyone free money every single month. The only condition is that you must sign up for the digital ID to receive it. Most people will take the free money without thinking about the freedom they are giving up. They will choose convenience over control. The wealthy already know this is coming. That is why you see billionaires buying massive amounts of farmland and remote property. They know that the only way to maintain true freedom is to be self-sufficient. If you own your land and produce your own energy, you are harder to control. And this brings us to the most important point, that what can you actually do right now to protect yourself? The first step is to keep using physical cash. Every time you tap a card or use a phone to pay, you are helping them build the digital prison. Cash is the last form of private spending we have. You must use it or we will lose it. You should also focus on becoming less dependent on the system. Try to pay off your debts as fast as you can. When you have debt, you are vulnerable to interest rates and banking rules. Real freedom comes from owning things outright. Start learning practical skills like growing your own food or repairing your own home. If the digital system ever locks you out, you need to be able to survive without it. Finally, build real relationships with your neighbours. A strong local community is the best defence against a centralised digital world. We have to build a way of living that does not rely on their permission. We are in a very short window of time before this system takes over, so educate yourself and take action now. You might have noticed something strange happening around the
in Iran that not only hands over the nuclear material, stops threatening the Straits of Hormuz, but quits exporting the Islamic Revolution throughout the region, causing the collapse of Lebanon, Gaza, Yemen, Syria, and as well stop their ballistic missile programs. So at the end of the day, the real center of gravity is the IRGC, the entity, the part of the U.S., the government in Iran that controls everything.
It's trying to move big pieces here. I agree with you, the blockade's working, no doubt. But you wonder if we can bomb our way to peace in Iran today. That's a question mark. Sir, thanks for coming on today. We'll see what happens later today. Thank you.
In Iran that not only hands over the nuclear material, stops threatening the Straits of Hormuz,